Hey guys, welcome back to Home Theater Guru. So today we're going to be looking at the Tonewinner D6000. This was brought to us by Amir at Summit Hi-Fi. If you want to look at any of these products, you're interested in these products, he's the guy to contact. He warranties all this stuff himself and then handles the warranty claim with Tonewinner. So he's going to take complete care of you. Fantastic guy. Okay, so we've already checked out the D2000 here, which is the smaller 12-inch rear ported sub. And over here, we've got the D4000, the larger upgraded driver, larger amp to the smaller 12-inch sub here. $200 difference in those two subs. So far, this is definitely the one to get if you have the room for it. But now we've got the big dog, their big brother, the D6000. So just like all the other Tonewinner subs, this one was double boxed, extremely well packed. They do a great job at that. So let's go ahead and take this plastic off, just kind of look at it real quick, and we'll go over some of the specs. Then we're going to take the driver out, and we're going to look at the internal, see how much bracing. So far on these two, I was very impressed with the bracing. This one's got a single window bracing in it. This one right here has got a double. It's like every 7 inches there's a brace. Extremely well braced. The cabinets are just very, very well designed. All right, so let's go ahead and get this plastic off. All right, so just like the D2000 and 4000, we have a round over finish. It's a really, really nice looking finish. As far as the finish, this has a black, kind of like a black oak or something like that, like the standard speaker finish you see where they have like a vinyl wrap or something like that on it. It's a very, very clean looking job. Let's go ahead and take this grill off. Now, like the others, I'm assuming this is a pressure fit grill. And just like the others, the grill is very, very well done. Looks like it's the same 3/4 inch construction. It's just a nice looking grill. All right, so of course in the box we've got our power cord down there. We've got 3 plugs where the D4000 had 2 plugs because it has 2 ports. This one has 3. We can run it sealed. Now we're gonna look at the app in a few minutes. The first video I did with the D2000, actually, you can go through the settings and set this subwoofer amp up all from the display. It's got a little display on it, which we're gonna look at in a minute. But when I looked at the phone app is so nice. There's no reason to even touch that. You can do everything from your phone. We're gonna look at that as well. It's real nice and clean. But anyway, let's go ahead and just look at it real quick. So the front of it looks very, very nice. You got some nice large ports. The ports are flared, and that's going to help with port chuffing. Another thing we have is they're very large. We have really large ports, and that's going to help keep the air velocity down so we don't have chuffing issues as well. So there's some really nice design features here. Okay, so back here on the back of the plate amp, of course, we have our power plug connection. We have an unbalanced RCA input. We have our balanced XLR input, and we have a left and right input as well, and then a line out. I guess that's if you like daisy chain some subs, which generally we're not gonna do. We're gonna use like probably a mini DSP to set them up, or if we have an AVR that's capable or processor capable of actually EQing and delaying subs between each other, we may use that as well. Now this plate amp back here is rated at 800 watts RMS with 3000 peak. Pretty sure this is the exact same plate amp that was in the D4000 back here, where this one had the 400 watt and 1500 peak in the D2000. In the D4000 we stepped up to 800 watts and 3000 peak, and we looks like we have the same amp here on this big bad boy. All right, so the weight on this thing is 92.59 pounds. So, you know, it's a heavy sub. You're gonna want some help if you're lifting it. All right guys, just like the D4000, we have 2 window braces in here. They are actually, let's see how far apart they are. 7 3/4. Looks like both of them about 7 3/4. This one's 5 1/2. So you don't have a gap more than 7 3/4 without having a brace, which is awesome. All 3/4 construction. Now the baffle from the face here to the inside, the actual thickness. Now, of course, not the recess part, because that's not, we don't count that recess. The whole baffle is about 1 5/16 inches thick. So it's got a nice thick baffle. So that's gonna help with all the force of that driver when it's really getting after it. Now, as far as the subwoofer motor goes, I mean, this thing's heavy. It's probably 35 pounds or so. I mean, it's pretty stout. You know, it's a pretty big motor. It does have a really nice looking cone. I really like the way that cone looks. But I mean, overall, it's a nice driver. It doesn't look cheap or cheesy or anything like that. All right, so you're gonna go into the App Store and you're gonna download the app called Tonewinner. Now, it already sees the D6000 is on. Now, the D4000 was loaded on here yesterday, so whatever it picks up, you can go in there and select the sub you want to talk to. And you can also name them. So if you have several D4000s or several D6000s, you can call them whatever you want. New firmware update, so yes. Now it says send filter data. Now I think what this is, I noticed when we updated the D2000, before the update, the high pass filter was like set at 15 Hertz. And I think then after the update, they bumped it up to 17. So this is why it's important, because they can make changes that improve the performance of the sub. So you want to make sure it's updated. Okay. Now you guys didn't see it, but the sub back there, the little light came on just to acknowledge the fact that it got an update. All right, so we're gonna go and connect to it again and open it back up, and now we're back into it. All right, so this right here, most people call this their sub gain, like the gain knob. That's where you would adjust your volume of your sub there. They call it volume, but actually it's an input attenuator to help you adjust the trim level on your processor. We're not gonna go over that right now. Okay, the low pass filter is set at 100 Hertz with a 24 dB slope. So, now that is actually that's the upper end, and our processors and AVRs, they set this for us. So we're gonna disable this. I don't know if it has an off. We're just gonna raise it all the way up. Oh, there it is right there. High pass filter. Now that is the bottom end. That sucker set for 13 Hertz at negative 12 dB roll off. That's pretty low. So if you were finding that maybe your sub is bottoming out, or for whatever reason, maybe you had to EQ it up, or arc or Dirac or something, EQ'd the bottom end too much, you can come in here and cut that a little bit more by raising it up, and that's going to give you more headroom above that point, so it's not struggling down low. But for whatever reason, they think this bad boy is going to go to 13 Hertz, which we're going to try it as is, because this is the new firmware. This is the setup it did. We're going to try it out. But again, we can go in there and adjust the performance ourselves. So, you know, if we put that at like 17, 18 Hertz, that's going to really keep it from trying to kill itself down low, and we're going to get more performance, you know, from the 18 Hertz and up region. Now, of course, it also depends on how much room gain we get. There's a lot of different variables with subs that matter. Port tuning, open or sealed. All ports sealed, all ports open. Normal status with all ports open, sealed with accessory foam, sealed all the ports and let the cabinet close to a sealed. Okay, so in here, it looks like they only intend you to use it with all the ports open or all the ports closed. Polarity, it's a 0, 180. The phase, now this is pretty cool to have a phase option. Actually, I like that a lot, because we can use that to help align them. Instead of just having a polarity, which is 0, 180 out of phase, we actually have increments in here where we can fine tune it. So that is really sweet, and that can really help us whenever, you know, a 0, 180 switch does not really help us align subs. You just kind of pick them between the lesser of two evils. But with that phase right there, we can actually do a lot more to help fine tune it. Wish it was a delay setting, that'd be cool, where you could do individual delays between subs. Mode, normal, strong, deep, or user. Now these are preset EQs. Now we can actually do our own EQ. See right here, EQ activated. So we can go in there and put EQ filter 1. Right now it's at 15 Hertz. See that blue dot moves around. We can put it wherever we want. 17 Hertz. Q value is our width. Let's go ahead and boost it up a little bit. Now if we bring that Q, see, we can adjust that Q right there. The higher we go, the sharper that peak gets. And we can drop it back down. We can bring it into a cut. If we have too much output somewhere, we need to make a cut. Of course, you need to be measuring your room response to really mess with this. It's not something you're going to want to really jack with unless you know what's going on. But anyway, this is why I said we're not going to be using the display on our amplifier to do this stuff. It's too easy to do it from right here. And we can also rename this sub if we want. All right, go into settings right there, and we can call it whatever the heck we want to call it. We'll call this one Big Daddy. There we go, Big Daddy, confirm. Now when you pull up our devices, there it is right there, Big Daddy. So you can have all your names. We can have Big Daddy 1, Big Daddy 2, whatever. And so we know exactly what sub we are in. Pretty cool. That's going to be it for this one, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next videos, and I'll see y'all for the next one.